to do anything. Have fun? Fun? Can you clap real loud if you're going to have fun tonight? I don't know, but I used to get in trouble in school if I was making a lot of noises. Blaine and I both have that problem. We make a lot of noises and we're always talking and doing things. Isn't that right, Blaine? And we used to get in trouble, but this guy's made a living out of doing this stuff, making noises, making people laugh, all kinds of things. So let me tell you a little bit about my friend up here, Ralph Duren. Ralph is a humorist, a wildlife impersonator, an outdoorsman, a hunter, a trapper, an outdoor media consultant, a guide, and he's a retired wildlife professional of 26 years where he worked with the Missouri Department of Conservation as a public relations specialist, a hunter skills specialist, and a wildlife damage control agent. And listen to this, in 1995 and the year 2000, he was the Grand National Wild Turkey Gobbling Champion. Oh yes. And in 1997, he was the first ever World Quail Champion. Now, one of my friends today introduced him and said, hey, here's the World Champion Turkey. Well, maybe a little bit, but World Champion Turkey collar, isn't that right? We have an interesting, because Kristen Jorgensen and Lane Todd, Sarah, and I went to church with his daughter, and that's how we made our first connections up in Iowa, and he performed out at our First Baptist Church of Elgin, so we really enjoyed that. But this guy is, was inducted in the Missouri Hunter Education Hall of Fame in 2007, the Missouri Conservation Federation Communicator of the Year in 1997. And he's been on a few TV shows. A few of them I think you've probably heard of. One of them is Jay Leno. He was right before Carrot Top is the story. He'll give you some more on that later. CBS This Morning, FS Breakfast Time, Good Morning America, Swan's Place. He's been on everything from Outdoor Channel, Versus, ESPN, and the Sportsman Channel. Quite a few different things this guy's been into. And his programs are called Call the Wild, and he actually does a segment on Missouri Outdoors Weekly Television. He's a regular guest for all of you hunters out there on something called Ray Eye's Eye on the Outdoors radio show. And more importantly than all of this, though, Ralph resides in Jefferson City, Missouri with his wife, Cheryl, and she couldn't be here with us because she cooks on Wednesday nights for their little Baptist church, or big Baptist church there. They were having Mexican food night, so she was there working. They've been married for 34 years. They have 5 children, 9 grandchildren, and they have another one on the way this month. He's a choir member, a praise band drummer, and a Sunday school teacher at Memorial Baptist Church in Jefferson City. You guys are in for a treat. This is going to be real fun. He's presented all over America, so put your hands together for Ralph Duren.
Thank you. It is good to be here in the land of Daniel Boone. My ancestors actually came from eastern Kentucky to the Missouri Ozarks, so we're probably related. And I think I'm related to everybody in the Ozarks. And Daniel Boone came to Missouri when Kentucky got too crowded for him. He started seeing the smoke of neighbors' chimneys, and he said it's getting a little crowded. So he came to Missouri, where we didn't have as many people yet, where he could hunt and trap and not run into anybody but the Osage Indians. And I live right there, kind of a mile from the place where the Osage River runs into the Missouri River, and Daniel Boone and his sons routinely came right up there on the river on a canoe and went right by there up to Upper Osage to hunt and trap. It was one of his favorite areas. He went on up the Missouri River and a little farther, about 20, 30 miles, and started the salt lick business. And so I've been on Daniel Boone's farm, and I've been on his son Nathan's farm, and the fact that I fed cattle on Nathan's farm. So I've been all over there. I know he liked this area. I know he liked that area, and it looks a lot alike. I came across a lot of flat land to get here. And I was glad to see the hills when I finally saw them again. You can only take so much of flat cornfields, at least I can. I'm a hillbilly, and I was kind of Conservation Department's hillbilly on parade. People in North Missouri didn't really know how to take me, but they hadn't had turkeys and deer for very long, and I grew up with them. And they've come around now. Everybody up there hunts deer and turkeys, but when I first started, they didn't have enough of them in North Missouri. It was flat and rolling hills and all farms, and they didn't have much timber. So I'm kind of from the woods. I still like being in the woods. Yesterday I went right up the road here to the Clay Hill Forest to see that. I got a tour of that. That was fun. And I spoke at the college yesterday. How many of you were there yesterday? College? Oh, look. Giant crowds came out here. You know, lots of them don't have cars. They don't have a way to get here out in the country. And then I spoke today at 2 schools. Who was there today? Oh, look. There they are. So they already know. Oh. So they know a bunch of calls already. They do. And so I've done a lot of calls in the last 2 days, but I never really had enough time to do all the calls. And I'll probably forget a dozen or more tonight. But I have to tell you, I grew up in Festus, Crystal City, that's south of St. Louis. And when I go to Iowa, they think I'm from the south. Well, the south side of the Missouri River. But, you know, to people in Iowa, that's south. They say I talk funny. But they talk funny to me, because, you know, they're a little bit Swedish and Norwegian up there, see? They talk a little funny, and they don't open their mouth or hard because it's really cold up there like this. Eh? Isn't that right? It's true. It's because it's so cold up there. Kristen knows that. It's winter time from now till June. It is. When we moved my daughter into her apartment, the sign right out in front says snow route, no parking October 1 to May 1 in a snow emergency. And my daughter looked at me, what? Yeah, it snows. So the first big snowstorm, the snow was up to here, and she walked to work that day and was the only one that made it. And the boss called in and said, man, the phones, go across the street to the post office and get the mail. She went to the post office, but the mail never got there. So but she was at work. And the first day, that's when Dwayne came by. It was Halloween, and I was carrying stuff in the house, and my daughter put out her jack-o'-lantern and got her bowl of candy. And those kids got the first candy from my daughter in her new apartment in Elgin, Iowa. So that was kind of neat. We went to church the next morning, which was about as far away as from, that door over there to the church to that door over there. That's how close she moved into the First Baptist Church of Elgin, and that was a blessing for us. And so those people up there kind of adopted her and took her under their wing, and that's good. She's 378 miles from home. I'm today only 471 miles from home, but I'm used to that. At least we're in hills. When you get up there, it's cornfields. Now, I grew up in the hills, and I grew up on a farm. And we raised all kinds of critters on the farm, not just one like a lot of farms today. We raised everything. And we had 3 seasons on the farm instead of 4. We didn't have spring, summer, winter, fall. We had hunting season, fishing season, and trapping season. That's just the way we were. And we raised a big garden, and we sold produce. I picked blackberries. We had 10 blackberries. I picked blackberries all summer. My fingers were scarred up and purple all summer. And we sold those blackberries for 10 cents a quart. A quart? Do you know what they charge for a quart of blackberries now? I could not believe the other day when I saw them at Walmart. I said, I would be rich. I would have been then if I could have charged what they charged now for blackberries. I did that a lot. I had a stick with a bent nail on the end, and I could grab a hold of them great big old briars and move them and get me a step ladder and get in there and reach up there and pick a half a quart in one hand full of great big blackberries. I spent a long time in the blackberry patch. Then I spent a long time in the hayfield. Those are square bales, the kind you got to pick up and throw and stack. I did a lot of that too, and so I knew what work was like. And whenever I wasn't working, I'm either swimming in the creek, fishing,